What's going on? What is going on? It is your boy Smooth Blaze, and I would like to bring you back to CEO Lifestyle. Now, before we get into any major points for this week, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell, select all so you will not miss one video. Now, on last week, we talked about Are You a CEO? Understand the responsibilities of what that instills in a personal life and professional. Also, we discussed defining what a CEO is, an overseer of what, overseer of men, an overseer of operations, things of that nature. But this week, we're going to go a little deeper. The question or the topic that we will discuss is the importance of having both vision and strategy. Now, like we did on a couple weeks ago, the first thing we did was define what these ideals or these things mean. First thing will be vision. The ability to think about your future with imagination or wisdom. That's what vision means. Another word will be strategy. A detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. When you have a vision, you got to have a strategy to execute. Having one without the other is pointless. So, when we think about ourselves as CEOs in our personal and professional life, here are some key things that have to be aligned in order for both of these components to work. One, define and communicate very clearly of your vision. Everyone that is on this path with you needs to know the vision, the mission, and why are we doing this? The why matters so massively in order to execute these things, correct? All right. Next thing will be a strategic framework. What that means is when you develop a roadmap that can get you point A to point B, setting up goals that can put you in a place where you can attack, you can measure, and you can see where you need to improve or you need to regroup on some things. Having a framework is very essential to that. The next component will be involving a team for buy-in. When you're engaging in this, you have to have a team or a system in place that everybody is bought into what you're doing. If employees are encouraged and if the systems are working properly, things will go smoothly. And also, in addition to that, those employees will gain more ownership and knowledge of what they're doing, and they'll take more pride in it. It's just like you having a child. If you don't explain to them why they can't touch the stove, they're going to continue to do it until they get burned. But if you explain it, they can understand why it's not a good idea. Map resources to priorities. What this means is, what budget are we working with? What is the personnel that we have in place? How can we allocate these things, and what areas do we need to put more marketing in? What areas do we need to put more system enhancement in? These resources that we have overall will help lead us and help guide us in the way that we should go. Once we have that in place and understand and identify the resources, we know how to navigate. Next thing, and one of the next steps would be establish a rhythm of review, meaning we have to balance and see whether or not our process is working. Our vision is here, our strategy here. Is it effective? Is it efficient? What that means is that you review things. You can be quarterly, which means 4 times a year, or you can do it annually, or you can do bi-yearly, meaning that 6 months, bam, we're gonna look at where we at. Last 6 months, where we at. So breaking it down that way will allow you to see things on a different scale, to understand where you're going, benchmarking what works, and what adjustments we may need to make in order to get there. And the last step probably will be leading by example. The importance of people embracing your leader. If you're a CEO of your life, you're a CEO when it comes to your clientele or whatever you do in your field, right? So leading by example means setting the tone, instilling values and morals, strategies to allow the team to understand exactly what it looks like and how to proceed. If I'm a leader, or if I'm a CEO of an organization, or I'm CEO of my life, I have to be able to set the tone for what my expectations are. If I'm unable to set the tone for those expectations, we're both going to be going down a rabbit hole looking crazy. So, as we understand all these key steps as it relates to finding alignment with vision and strategy, ask yourself a few questions. How can I tighten up my strategy? That's when you use different benchmarks to measure the results and the process. Another question you need to ask yourself is, where are the holes in my plan that I've missed? We all have put together a plan and done things in place, but as soon as we get to the point where it's starting to push things out, you start realizing, oh, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that, or maybe I need to step back on this area. Those things are essential to making your business or your overall life work. You have to look at the gaps and the holes to see where we can plug in and maneuver things. Another question would be, am I producing the results that I have projected? And that goes back to establishing some type of rhythm of review, meaning that we have to set these goals. We have to review these goals and execute in a way that will be productive, not only for your family personally, and also in the business sector or in the corporate, whatever field that you're in. So when you're looking at all these things, as a CEO, vision is essential to making sure that I know where I want to go. Strategy is the way to navigate through that space. So when you're thinking about these things, just realize what you've accomplished, what you have not accomplished, and how can we execute. Now, as we close, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out to check out my channel. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one single video. Now, before we go, we have to always keep this phrase and this theme in our hearts. We cannot control the hand that was dealt for us, but we can move with purpose. It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I am signing out. Peace.